18 years ago, in 1997, we attempted to start a church in Worcester, but it failed. The church planting was led by the then pastor in charge, Apostle Ayete, assisted by me, an elder at the time, and Deaconess Mr Akufo. It was hosted by Sister Francisca Achiampong, and church services were held in her home. The home-based church prevented growth. A year later, the same planting team attempted to start the church again, and it failed. This time was hosted by Elder Alfred Oparidako, then not an elder, and church services were held in a rented storefront on Main Street. The then pastor in charge of Boston Assembly was reluctant to relocate to Worcester to cultivate the newly planted church, and so the church collapsed after a few months. In March 1999, I was ordained a pastor and inducted as pastor in charge of the Boston Assembly in May 1999. So Mr Akufo and I were determined to plant the church in Worcester. In September 1999, we started preparatory meetings at Elder Alfred Oparidako's house with Bible study and prayer sessions. There were 8 Worcester residents attending the Boston Assembly at the time: Alfred and Martha Oparidako, Sister Francisca Achiampong, Sister D.T. Dickinson, Brother Owusu Setre, Sister Evelyn Mensah, Brother Wilson Nkansa, and Brother Tefa. In December of 1999, we recruited Elder Paul Harvey from the Toronto Assembly to come and help with the church planting. By God's grace, we secured a hall at the Crown Plaza Hotel, now occupied by Mass College of Pharmacy, for our Sunday church services. On Sunday, January 9, 2000, we held our first church service, which was Benjamin Darko's baby dedication. On the second Sunday, January 16, we held a baby dedication for Emanuela Frimpong. Throughout the month of January, we closed down the Boston Assembly and held joint services in Worcester. This enabled visitors to see the church as established. We also left all the tithes of the Boston Assembly members to seed the Worcester finances. A year after being at the Crown Plaza Hotel, on Saturday, January 28, 2001, we held one of our all-night prayers at the Crown Plaza Hotel. The hall they gave us was under the hotel guest rooms. Due to the noise, the hotel informed us that we would not be allowed to hold church services there anymore. After much prayer, we redoubled our efforts, and within a very short time, the Lord gave us the 78 Webster building, and we held our first church service there on Sunday, March 25, 2001. In 2007, we felt we were outgrowing the sanctuary at 78 Webster Street and didn't have facilities such as Sunday school and offices. So we looked all summer of 2000 to no avail. Then toward the end of the year, Ernest Amponsa found this building that we are in now at 23 Oxford Street. We purchased the building in January 2008, moved in September 2008, and held our first service on September 28, 2008. As the pastor in charge, I actively led the church planting team in planting the church. That was my role. There were 3 major challenges we faced in the beginning. The first challenge was breaking into the Worcester scene with people who were already attending established churches in Worcester. And we overcame this challenge by holding breakthrough prayer meetings and doing solid biblically transformational teachings. Our second challenge was how to reach Ghanaians, since most of the church planting team members were new residents in the city of Worcester. We overcame that by using baby dedications and funeral thanksgiving. That is why we started with Benji's baby dedication, followed by Emanuela's baby dedication. And at those baby dedications, we showcased our ministry excellence, and that attracted people. Our next challenge was finding a place of worship that wasn't somebody's house. And we overcame that when we decided that we could start a church in a hotel. In the face of all these challenges, I kept going through prayer with determination and blind optimism, which you may call faith. I knew we could do it, and so we had to persevere. Today at Bethsaida, we have 2 major strengths. I believe we have very good administration and modern management principles. A good number of our members are also very committed and they defend the church against rumors. But we also have two major weaknesses. We have a shortage of workers for various programs that we want to do based on our purpose. And I've determined that we lack faithful tithes given. In spite of all of that, we have the opportunity, I believe, to use the BIA to penetrate the American socio-cultural system so that we are not just a Ghanaian church, but we enter into the American system. The threat that we face is that there are people who profess they love the church, but they do some things that are bad for the church or things that are disparaging to the leaders. That's one of the threats that we face that we have to manage